Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today to review something I didn't know existed. A DVD upload on YouTube from 2006. Said it was fan made called Vio-lence, about the band Vio-lence. Violence, Blood, and Dirt. And you know it's Violence has the dash in the middle of it. And Violence was a thrash band. I mean, back in the day, I used to say speed metal. I never say speed metal anymore. I used to say thrash, grindcore. You know what I mean? I don't say speed metal anymore, but that was the thing that I used to say back in the day. And it talks about their career. They're no longer. I mean, there was a band that had great potential. And then through bad decisions and compromise and stuff like that, they're not really doing stuff anymore. Except for maybe a concert here and there. But I remember my introduction into metal was different because growing up in a small town, uh, you know, I didn't really find out about a lot of stuff till I went in the army. I mean, I knew about bands like Death Angel. I knew it existed, and I did like it. Just because my mom and stuff like that, she kind of like it was weird because I didn't really have that real input. Pretty much AC/DC, Judas Priest, Ozzy Osbourne, which are great too. Don't get me wrong. But my mother was like, "You're not listening to AC/DC anymore." My friend said that they had an album cover called "If You Want Blood, You Got It." When he stabs himself with a guitar, you're not listening to them anymore. Trying to be real suppressed and stuff like that, but it's just made me go further and further into it, just like her trying to suppress me with horror films. You know what I mean? Well, anyways, I found about Vio-lence when I was in Germany, and this was 88, 89, and they used to have these. I found out about these video magazines called Hard and Heavy, and in Old Scharmbeck, they had. I remember they had Metalhead video magazine that was on. I got the PX that was from Good Times Video, and that was it was good, but boy, those things were real quick. And Hard and Heavy, I saw in Old Scharmbeck, the one video rental place had Volume 3. I remember renting that and watching it and really enjoying it. And then I found the PX would sell like some of the other ones, so I would get a lot of the other ones. And they had the band Vio-lence on there. I said, boy, I really like this band. They're pretty cool. And I didn't see any of their stuff in Germany, but when I went into Fort Bragg, when I got home after Germany, I remember seeing on the Headbangers Ball they had video World in a World. I love the video. And, that's back when we did have, because we didn't have cable growing up. And then, when in Germany for Headbangers Ball, like this one guy would have a friend that would tape some episodes. So I had some of those episodes and stuff. I would tape the videos I liked. Because my roommate liked White Lion, and I don't like White Lion at all. I hate that song. Wait, that's awful. Well, I know some people like that, but I mean, I taped like the heavier stuff. Yeah, well, I mean, and some other stuff that wasn't as heavy, but still really good, that I enjoyed. And I remember in Fort Bragg getting Eternal Nightmare, which I thought was very similar to the album cover, was very similar to Nightmare on Elm Street with the Bedfall. I mean, I haven't seen that in a long time. But it's weird because they have that computer graphic that looks really weird. Then violent music with that looks really bizarre. And I love the album. And then I remember getting Oppressing the Masses, which when they were with Atlantic, Outside the World and the World video. I love that. Yeah, I love the band. I was a big fan. And then I got I was in TDY at Fort Detrick, Maryland in '91. I remember picking up the Torture Tactics EP. And that was pretty much it for the band Vio-lence. And I found out about Nothing to Gain like years later. In 2010. And that was the album that kind of like killed it because it was like a compromise album. They wanted to make, the record label wanted to make a more technical album that was still, I mean, it's still like thrash kind of, but I mean like more accessible, a little more mainstream. And I guess then they didn't want it. They put it on the shelf, and they finally, or someone released it. I didn't know about the album too much until later. I heard it. It's okay. I listened to it again last night, and I liked it a little bit more. Because I was expecting the same Vio-lence sound. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like a disappointment when I remember Death Angel's Ultra Violence loving it and then getting Frolic in the Park. Like, what the hell is this? Or Renewal from Creator. I love Creator, but Renewal, oh my god. I have to listen to the album again. I'll see if I still hate it. Well, anyways, I'm getting off track. This was a DVD fan made I found on YouTube, made in 2006, and it was really cool. And it included interviews with Rob Flynn, because Rob Flynn said he hates talking about the band Vio-lence. And he's with Machine Head now. Machine Head's okay. I like Vio-lence is much better in my opinion. And it's a really entertaining movie with interviews from everybody. And it talks about what happened with the band, because I didn't know about. I mean, they're kind of pretty much an enigma for me, because I didn't know that much about them. I knew about the 2 albums and then tour, and then I didn't know what the heck happened. And like I said, I found out about Nothing to Gain much, much later, 2010 or so, by accident. And, it really tells the story. It tells them what stuff they did. And they said they were asked to perform at Thrash of the Titans. Really clever. And they said it was the best band. They outshowed everybody there. It's very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. If you're a fan of the band Vio-lence, I highly recommend it. The show it's on, like, you can look up, just type Vio-lence with a dash, Blood and Dirt, and it should come to that video on YouTube. And I know Steph Opal is watching this video, and I want to give a shout out to her too. She's amazing. So I hope you like this review. I give it a 10 out of 10. It was really cool finding out what happened to the band. I mean, well, they had this one manager, and they were kind of like, well, we don't like the direction the band's going. They actually fired her, and she was actually, they said, that was the worst mistake they ever made. And then they had a big backlash from the record companies who were big friends with her. But I mean, it talks about their mistakes and people leaving and stuff, just getting older, and they said they weren't getting the exposure they wanted. A whole bunch of interesting stuff, but it's still awesome documentary about awesome band. Vio-lence, Blood and Dirt, full on 10 out of 10 for me. I hope you like this video, everybody. Until next time, please, camera lead. Yiggy.